Okay, so enough time's gone by. This is dried up pretty good. Goodness knows what that speaker's going to sound like now. In the meantime, I have located the alignment instructions, and good thing I did, because there's a couple things in here I would never have come up with on my own. This has come from Pacific TV website. They have a lot of schematics, and they usually have them in really good condition. For instance, Pacific TV's version, clear as a bell. This allowed me to note that the proper screen voltage up here is actually around 65 volts, close to what I measured, not the 95, because on the original schematic I was using, you can't even read the number here. I didn't even know it was a number, for crying out loud. So away with that. Hello to this. Hello. Now the things on here that are interesting on the alignment process, which is kind of pretty straightforward except for two things. One is make sure the correct oscillator peak is obtained. This is the peak which occurs at the minimum oscillator pattern capacity. So you want the trimmer here open as much as possible. That's the peak you want to be after. And the other one is, and this one I would never have gotten, so you use this capacitor to peak up the antenna circuit. Then you have to loosen off a locking nut, which I think is right here, and then adjust the core inside this this coil here. The actual coil right in here. Adjust it with the radio tuned to a different spot, like 900 or something. Probably, if this procedure is followed exactly as it's intended to be followed, all the wonkiness is going to disappear. That resonant whine that shows up, all that stuff will probably disappear. That's what I'm hoping. That's my hope. So we're going to follow this exactly as it says in here. No fancy business. So if we're going to do that, the first thing we're going to do is the IF again, which is a good idea. We're going to connect the generator to the grid cap of the 12A8. That's here. Feed in the 456 signal. Dummy antenna, a 0.1. Got a 0.1 here. Yep. So sometimes they're never clear here when they say dummy antenna. Do you put this right across the antenna leads, or is this in series with the supply coming in? Well, I didn't hear an answer to that question, so I'm going to assume it's right across the antenna leads. Where did the antenna leads go on this radio? They've disappeared. Oh, what am I talking about? They're right here. What am I talking about? Oh, I see what happened. I got the picture here. So we want to put this right across and then feed in the feed from the signal generator, which is right here. I'm using an antenna simulator. I probably don't have to actually do this. The antenna simulator is that little box you can just see here. Antenna simulator, and that's supposed to make the signal generator think it's feeding 50 ohms while the radio thinks it's hooked up to 200 or 300 ohms this way. So, but I do have the capacitor in there. I'm not sure it's going to make much difference anyway. Frankly, I don't know. There we go. Signal generator should be set to 456. Oh, my frequency counter is going a little wild there right at the moment. Just let it wait for it to settle down. Set the tuning to 700 or 800 right in there, right where it's set to. Oh, grid cap. Oh, I didn't do this right, did I? This is not right. Leave that like that. grid tab. Right on like that. You know what? I'm going to do my own thing here. I'm going to add in a capacitor here. Don't expect that's going to throw anything off. There's a little clip when you need one. Okay, I'll just clip this together like so. A little wonky. Okay. So our objective here is to feed the 456 in. Let's turn on the radio, get it warmed up. Still waiting for my frequency counter to settle down here. Come on, buddy. Okay, I think we're ready to go now. So we have the signal generator connection. We're going to put it on the top of the 12A8 tube. Let's just turn this up. It's still got the oscillation in it. Something terrible. But hopefully we'll drum it out. Okay. Feed in 456. 456. That'd be 456. Is this radio that far off? Why am I not hearing the tone? Shouldn't there be a modulation tone coming out of the radio? I'm feeding a modulated signal into the IF. Sure, we should hear it. Kind of hear it now. Modulation off. So you can see it on here. So that's about 30%. Okay, so there's 1,000 hertz tone. We can hear that a little better. But I don't understand why we don't hear it. Blazing away. Could be other alignment issues. Yeah, I don't get that. Okay, well that's the IF is peaked up about as much as you can get out of it. Let's carry on. So now we want a dummy antenna of 0.0002, tiny capacitor. I have one. Down. Take feed this into the antenna. We're going to take off this big killer capacitor here. I'm pretty sure that's what this capacitor does, is make sure there's no input from the antenna during that. So now we're connected up, feeding into the antenna, but it's asking for a dummy 0002. That's what this is. I think it goes this way. Sometimes, like, it's just not specifying it, so again, I'm not sure just how important or critical that really is. Probably means it's totally critical and I don't know it. Now, we want to tune up to 1500 kilohertz here. Let's go up here. 1500. So I guess you line it up with a little gap in the dial here. So that would be 15. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, that's what that would be. 15. Oh boy. Tune C2. C2 is here for maximum signal. 1500 on the frequency counter here. So it's 14, 40, a little off. $1,500. Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. C2 must be the local oscillator. This must be C2 down here, because you would do the local oscillator first to bring it in. Okay. Okay, that sounds pretty clear. A little noisy there, but that sounds pretty good. I like it. Let's try 400. Well, okay. Next thing is 1500 C1. Okay, so this would be C1 for max. Watching the meter. Okay, that's a big deal. So now we go down to do T1. Now T1, I think this is the coil. Where does it say? Rotate tuning control until antenna tuning core is inserted in the antenna coil. When do you do this? Antenna coil, even with the coil form, dial pointer should then be adjusted to read 550. Okay, let's just check that. So it says rotate this until the core. Ooh, son of a gun. Okay, I have some more thoughts about the putt-putt problem. But let's just go through the whole alignment thing here and make sure. Rotate tuning control until antenna tuning core is inserted in the antenna coil with the end of the core even with the coil form. So what I'm talking about, oop, that's the wrong thing. I'm talking about right here. So we bring that right there. And we look down. So is that 550? I don't know, you can't, it's a little hard to see on a camera. So 7, 6. Okay, so that's 550. So this pointer should be down here. This pointer should be down here. So I'm going to just push the pointer. Just push it down. That's what the instructions say. Way out to here. There we are. So that was not correct. Check it again. So we're lined up here, and we're lined up there at the 550 mark. So that's exactly what we're supposed to do. It says, should read 550. When this is done, reset the pointer to 1500, adjust the oscillator again. Adjust the oscillator condenser C2 lower. Oh, lower condenser. So go back to 1500. There's 1500. Okay, we'll go back to 1500 on the. Oh, it is still there. Feeding into the antenna. Okay. And of course, it's disappeared. So we'll bring it back. Looking for other places. There we are. Very distortion free at this volume level. So your radio's fixed. Sounds fine as long as you don't turn the volume up. Perfect. $1,500. Make sure correct oscillator peak is obtained. This is the peak which occurs at minimum oscillator pattern capacity. So I tried that. I backed this thing way out. There's only one peak. Check dial calibration, reset pointer if necessary. If pointer is moved, operation 2 has to be repeated. So check dial calibration. Doesn't say where to check it. So we know 15 is there because we're listening to it. We'll try 8. Okay, so we're on 8. Six. Not 8. Let's go past 8. It's not 8, that's for sure. Like 760. So 760 is down here a little ways. It says now you're supposed to put the pointer back. Reset the pointer if necessary. If the pointer is moved, then you do number 2 again. Next, adjust the antenna padding condenser for maximum single strength. Okay, so we're just fiddling around with the oscillator here. So I'm supposed to move the pointer now to match to match what? So if I set this to 800, and tune the radio till I hear it, and then move the pointer to 800. Go back to 15 and do that again. I think this is what I got to do, around and around and around. Okay. 15. right on. Okay. Back to 8. I'm just picking 8 kind of random. 8. Back to 8. Quite a strong image. We're getting closer. Okay, so set this to 8. Tune this for max. Move this to 8. Back to 1500. This isn't a very precise dial anyway, so back to 1500. I get my arm down here. That's really pretty good. So we'll try 11. So we're quite ways out. 11 would be here. 11 would be where? Quite a ways off. So how 11 is out, but 8 is on. And that's how this is working. That's 8. Okay, that's 8 from the signal generator. 8 is right on. Let's go down to 6, because most of the tune, well, you know, I don't know, this radio is headed for Quebec. This radio lives in Quebec, quite a ways from here. Totally different set of radio stations. No idea what they might be doing. 6. Not bad. That's not bad. You know, I don't think I'm going to get it much better than that. Great. Okay, next thing now would be next adjust the antenna padding condenser maximum 6 strength at 1500. At 1500. Oh, did you hear that? Well, that's because I got a signal generator going. Don't panic. No panic. Okay, so that should be 1500. Okay, seems to be tuned right on. Beat this guy up. Oh my gosh, I'm just cranking it right down here. Need a bigger screwdriver. That's pretty good, I think. Tune signal generator to tune the signal generator to receiver at 900. Adjust antenna core for maximum sensitivity. To do this, it will first be necessary to loosen locking nut on adjusting screw. After adjustment, this nut should be tightened. Tune signal generator to 900. Oh, okay, so kind of what I was fiddling around with there, this is the actual proper procedure. It's to, yeah, let's back up. Back up, follow this exactly. Dial pointer should be adjusted to read 550, set at 1500. Make sure correct peak minimum, dial calibration, reset pointer, pointer is moved, operation 2, be repeated. Next, adjust the antenna padding for maximum signal strength. Now, okay, I'm fine. Tune the signal generator to receiver at 900. So we go to 900. Okay, that's 900. Tune this to 900. Can't get there. Gotta go all the way the other way. Okay, 900 is there. I'm sure they want me to adjust this little guy here. Let me take a bit of a closer look at it. So that's the locking nut there. And that's the adjustment. Okay. Do the locking nut first. How's that look? Doesn't that look great? That looks great. Okay, maybe we can just get it with a pair of needle nose. So I'm watching to see if the whole rod is turning. No. Did I actually unlock that? Wow, this is a little flimsy, isn't it? Wow, that's super flimsy. Okay, did I get this to turn? Oh yeah, it's definitely turning the nut. Okay. Now what am I supposed to do? Put some tiny little... Look at that. There's actually a screw for sticking a screwdriver in there. But look at how tiny it is. I don't have anything like that. I need a razor blade to fit in there. Just turn this... You turn the whole slug. Yeah, the whole slug. Okay, that'll be fine. Let me... turn this locking nut back a bit. Give me some range of movement. Okay. I think we're ready here. So the objective is at 900 to make this meter go max. The signal generator is definitely set to 900. There we go. Very sensitive. Oh my gosh. That's about it. Way off from where it was. Okay. So in a sense we're doing a capacitor and an inductor. I suspect that's how this is actually working out. The inductor is the tuning inductor. I think that's what's going on. So now after doing that, what do we do next? Check the sensitivity of the receiver at 3 adjustment points, and if not satisfactory, repeat the whole thing. Use the output meter. Use only sufficient output. I don't know. You know, there's a couple ways to do this. One is stick it on an antenna. Another way is to check with the signal generator. So the signal generator is connected. We know what kind of signal we're getting here right now. Let's knock it back. Okay. Tune it in. touch off 900. Okay, so let's go up to, I'm going to leave, you hear how loud this is? I'm going to leave the signal generator set where it is. It's set to a fairly low signal strength, in fact. Compared to what you get off an antenna, we'll go up around 14. Oh, this guy sounds pretty good. 14, want to find out how loud it is at 14. Oh, that's really disappointing. That's not sounding very good. Let's go way down here. Let's try 700. Okay, we're rated 700. No, that's not bad. Forgetting that it's not right on 700, but just sound-wise. So let's go right up to 15. It's like it sounds. You know what? Before I start reaching incorrect conclusions, let's put this on the outdoor antenna and hear what we've got. I don't really know if this is really connecting outdoors, actually. When I go and throw my antenna switches, it never seems to make much difference in here. It's another little project for me at some point. Okay, just going to put the center conductor on, so to speak. Should hope to pick something up down in this range here. Still has that heterodyne tone. Stronger if anything. It's picking up quite a few stations in here now. I sound pretty crappy. So you have the distortion from the speaker still. Wow! We analyze everything, get a lot of data from the airlines, then we sort of crunch the numbers, and then figure out which is the healthiest airlines in the flight. Wow, this speaker's... And the health this year was Alaska Airlines, and they took over from Virgin. And so they ended up really taking a lot of information and a lot of Wow, that says a lot, doesn't it? I mean, that says really what's the use of aligning a radio with a speaker like this in it? Holy smokes. And again, I think the real distortion is not from those little cracks that we saw all over the place. It's because of this distorted shape in here where the cone has actually changed shape. That has really caused a realignment of the voice coil, I believe. So I did soak the cone with water and let it go back to the way it wants to be. I may have to try that. So where are we down to here? Tune the signal generator 900, 10 a core, did that. Go around and around, checking the sensitivity of the radio. I think at this point this is really all about the speaker here and what can I do about that. I think that's really where we're at with this radio now. Because wow, what can I do about that? Try to soak the cone thing, see what happens. I mean, what have we got to lose here? Nothing really. It's not even my radio. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to set the radio like this. Whoops. And then just soak this thing. Even with all this stuff I've added now. What else can I do? Is there something I can examine this? Is there something I can I push that piece? Ouch, I got a static shock there. Pretty dry in my house already. Can I push? Is this piece, is the cone interfering with the bracket of the speaker back there? No, it's not that distorted. So I don't know what else to do. I'm going to soak it. We will soak it. We'll try that experiment and see what happens. Good luck to me. It's a beautiful day outside. I've got like 6 inches of snow on the ground. And you can see blue sky, sunshine. Too bad poor cats can't go outside yet. For a long time. Okay, so this is a crazy thing. Everything is telling me, my God, you should never put water on a speaker cone like this. What are you doing? What am I doing? So this is going to have to sit for quite a long time. Gee, you know, I have no faith that this is going to work at all. If anything, I think I'm going to end up with a worse situation. What would make anybody think this would go better as opposed to go worse? There it is. That's about it. Okay, well, just going to leave that sit. See, where did we get to today? Tomorrow, it's 11:30 in the morning. Let that sit for a few hours, I imagine. I put a little fan on it. Hey, let's see what happens next.